I think they're going to be a little bit more flexible this game because they have to. They don't know what to put up, so you can see it going either way at this point, but whatever they choose, they've got to commit to it.
Well, we'll find out here as things get underway. Andam's going to punch one off the back wall, and quickly ARES looking to move out onto the orange side, one towards the net, and met by Ronicky. So a little bit of back and forth in the first 15 seconds. And both teams content to just bomb the ball away and chase it down and see if they can make something happen. Cheerio, soft clear up to Tinny. That's a great setup back to Sebadam. Can he get the follow-up? Two members on the back wall for triple trouble. And this is a good opportunity here. Muscled around, but not towards the target. Be out towards the side, and Tinny off the back wall.
We're seeing ARES take a chance to take a litmus test to how Triple Trouble will respond to a lot of aggression, and they're seeing a double commit a couple times already. And it doesn't matter because defense switch, looking good, Tadpole.
And this is the big advantage of positioning here. You get to see from the offensive perspective, Tadpole can just look up and see, all right, that's going off the top corner, it's going to come straight down. And Shiro, he's looking directly up. He has no angle. It's a lot harder to read exactly where it's going to hit. And even though you can, it's tough to read where it's going to bounce out or if it's really coming straight down. Advantage of position is big.
Andam also bumped the defender out and actually gave his team a chance to take a second shot at the opportunity where it looked like they were going to gain possession and ARES was going to get to move into offense.
So definitely a good start for Triple Trouble. Tadpole getting it underway, completely unassisted as well. So good job getting your team rolling, Tadpole. You did have a good talk with Tadpole, I think.
Certainly did. He's a wonderful person.
And we'll see if that wonderfulness translates to on-field performance. It's a good gold star to get it going.
I found the nicer you are, the better you are, Ryan.
I actually believe that. You're wonderful, and now you're terrible at rugby.
That hurt.
This one's towards the back wall. Here comes Tinny. He actually gets it around one. Sebadam's going to have to get it out towards the middle. Cheerio's not facing the right way. Has to wait. Buys plenty of time for Tadpole to come back and make a challenge on the ball, but plenty of pressure being applied by ARES. Can't really seem to get a strong shot on net. Again, that Triple Trouble. One of the top teams coming out of the play-ins, looked very good, had a lot of high hopes for them, and they're one of the few play-in teams that have lived up to a lot of the expectations from them.
I do think that Tadpole joining this group was the right choice when we talk about Triple Trouble. They just have a good function together, whereas he goes for a lot of opportunities that I think would have been unconventional or risky. At the same time, he puts up positions for his team that they can support on good rotations.
Ooh, here's a bomb downfield from Cheerio. They will make sure they get their own boost, but does it cost him in terms of rotation? Yes, it will. Tinny reads the bounce, sinks it in.
That's the Tinny Cheerio we've been waiting for, and it looked so right because Cheerio gets a second shot when Tadpole misses the defensive clear. Tinny, we said it, he needs to be the one up if it's going to count, and exactly that. In fact, we've seen him play the pressure position all game.
So it's a nice answer from the ARES crew. Just before the halfway mark, they lose out in that midfield race for the boost, though. Sebadam has a free goal to point at. That is a whiff and a feels bad man. Sebadam takes the lead for ARES.
You don't want to make the mistake of committing a little bit too low on that one, and it's actually what Andam did. When he went up, he just didn't have the boost and the trajectory to make that happen. Sebadam sees it and says, well, if you're going to go up, I'm going to go in for the goal.
if you insist, Tinny.
Open the door, please.
Here comes Andam. Hard 50 in the midfield. Continuation is out of reach for Triple Trouble. ARES looking to continue that pressure here from the midfield line. It's a high clear. Sebadam reads it well. I would have liked to see Tadpole take that on a dribble. They had a lot of daylight to work with. And again, that's something that you see a lot of RLCS teams do.
Well, what we actually, I think he might have been trying to put some pressure on the defense to force them back into their box to give his team time to move into offense and pick up boost. They were all still pretty far back in their half.
Cheerio, hard off the back wall, and gets it safely into the corner. Very easy to mess up that touch. And he tries to cut inside, but again, Cheerio reads that passing lane so well, cuts it out, and ARES again on the offensive front. Ronicky, a quick tap down to the blue side, and it will reset here for both teams. Pass, actually make that a shot. Sebadam, the first one to it, and here comes Triple Trouble out of the midfield. We've got a nice wide spread covering a big triangle out of the midfield. Can they lock this one down, though? They've given a lot of ground here. They just let Sebadam clear that ball for free, and now they have to get it past Tinny in the midfield. I don't think Ronicky has a lot of boost to work with. And indeed, the drive will sort of just stall here for Triple Trouble.
a lot of this midfield action is actually completely stalling. No one's able to get a successful pass forward. The individual play will not give you a breakaway at this level.
Well, Sebedam just won a big challenge in front of this orange box. It allows ARES to circle around and come at him one more time. He cannot win that one, though. Touch to Tadpole, easy rollers. No problem for Tinny. As Cheerio's lurking at the top of the box, it's passed behind him, and that's going to make it a little bit awkward to try and continue this. Touch to Andam, it's a race, and Sebedam again, better positioning. The pass wasn't behind him, he'll just cut it out. And Triple Trouble struggling to get that ball to their teammates that are pushing upfield, saying, you need to hit me with that pass, and the placement's just not there.
Sebedam has just been disrupting pass after pass. When we see him along the wing, his chance is right between two offenders, and then he's able to make the transition for Tinny to move up. Cheerio's been backing a lot of plays off the backboard. They're trying to set up something into center. Infield pass might be more effective. Again, we talked about it last series, but it still plays much faster. And when you see a defense who's successfully rotating, that's the move to make.
Well, here comes the final 5 seconds. Triple Trouble need to get this ball all the way down to the other end of the pitch quick. And that is just nothing going. Andam taps it down into the ground. They try and keep it aloft, but nothing doing. ARES a solid game one, only a 1-goal game, but you really feel like that was just Triple Trouble not able to get anything. It was just that first goal from Tadpole, sort of a weird position defensively for ARES, and other than that, Triple Trouble couldn't really get a lot going. They have 6 shots, but it felt all ARES to me.
You know, the top 4 teams in the rival series currently kind of have a very similar style. I think GC Goods might be the exception to that, but they really like to play one back and then feed up to 2 offenders. And we actually saw that both Tenny and Sebedam have 3 shots on goal this game. And it was reflective of just Cheerio being a great player in terms of being a support role. You need someone who's a little risk-averse, who's willing to play the midfield, back off when needed, but then send stuff up and be willing to play something off the backboard or set up a pass into center to where you know you've got good positioning and good communication. That was what we saw this game, and this is the ARES that we were hoping to see.
Exactly.
But again, pleasantly surprised if they're able to hold off on this series. Triple Trouble is a team to beat. I think this is exactly what they need to do. This was the right formula.
Yeah, and you got to see plenty of Sebedam. He was that 3rd man back. He's in the middle of the scoreboard, 305 score and a goal, but he was that rock saying, look, they're not going to get anything past me in the midfield, and that is exactly what happened. You hit the nail on the head. They could not get anything past that guy. He was the one cutting down a lot of the passes out of their half if they were misplaced. He was the one winning a lot of challenges, keeping that pressure up for ARES, and I expect to see more out of that in game number 2. And Cheerio was kind of like, look, if Tinny misses it, I'll go get it, but other than that, you just keep blocking clears, and you just do you, man.
You do you. That's one heck of a strategy, Chiefs.
Hey, that is my personal go-to strat for Rocket League. You do you. You want a ball chase? I'll just hang out, man. Be groovy. Saves me from having to do work. As here comes Tadpole. Easy shot to defend for Sebedam. Hard off the sidewall. Touch forward by Ranaki as they want the demo in the net. It was on target, and Tinio. I like that.
Tinio.
Ooh, call them that?
That's a good one.
Tinio?
Write that down.
Tinio, I will. Ranaki, hard off the side. Cheerios in a race, tries to get it back. It's a tough one for Sebedam. He tried to read that bounce, and he's just making it so tough, harrying the defense out of their own box, saying, if you want to challenge this ball, you got to get through me first. As Sebedam doesn't get it all the way to safety, and it will indeed cost him. Andam says, look, you gave it to me, I'll take it.
Ranaki sets up a great play here because if you watch Sebedam's clear, it's too weak in the box, and then it's a great play for Andam to come in and clean up. So Ranaki forcing the pressure on the defender, the right move because it makes a bad clear and opens up a mistake. And that's what you want to be able to do on offense, and in this matchup, in the first minute, it was key for Triple Trouble to get back into this series.
And it was a communication error as well from Triple Trouble because they had a clear lined up. Sebedam was just feeling it. He's like, look, man, I've been all over it. No problem unless he is. Sebedam off the back wall to himself. Cheerio earns himself an assist, and they get it back immediately.
Well, Cheerio, again, if he sees the chance, he's going to play it to someone who he knows is going to have the position for it. Sebedam is right behind him and ready to shadow the play. He's also got a lot more boost and a better angle to take this shot. Not being selfish as a support player makes you such a better teammate in that scenario.
And it feels so good to get that goal back.
Oh, it's wonderful. An immediate answer to something that aggressive is exactly what they need.
You put it out of your mind, too. It's like you don't even care how that first goal was scored. You say, look, we made a mistake. You don't even care. You're like, look, we got it back. No one cares. And you just keep moving. It feels so good to get it back immediately.
It's the right move.
Pass straight across. Ranaki's in Andam, that Batmobile, excuse me, in kind of a tough spot to try and continue. Either way, he's making it tough for ARES to clear this ball. Tini not the strongest touch. Tadpole thinking about boost, elects to pass across the front, and Andom is just going to try and keep the pressure up. He was a little bit too far away to really track that down and rifle one on target. Pass across again, Tadpole in charge of keeping it on the offensive side. Sibadam times is clear, tries to lead his teammate to water in the corner. Abyss touch from Triple Trouble will earn ARES a chance to clear the ball. Tadpole makes the adjustment. Tinio needs this touch. Chirio's in a race. He will sort of win. It's not clean, and it's still kind of this neutral battle. Again, you can see how one missed clear opportunity or one poor continuation from a team it becomes this brawl for possession out of the midfield, and when you get in this position, you can't afford to make one missed touch because that'll open the door for you.
It's definitely confusing for your teammates to have to follow up too because you don't really know where your positioning is, and it takes you out of your comfortable rotation. That was a great opportunity on goal. Ronicky, a good stop.
Nice touch.
But again, the rotations are looking strong from Triple Trouble. They've got to make it meaningful, though. And if they don't get it clear out that's actually going to build them something like this right here, potentially, they've got to get back into the groove of that.
And Tini, great awareness again. Knew that pass was headed towards a teammate in the corner, just went out and got it. Shut down another passing play from Triple Trouble. The vision and awareness of the opposition has been very good for ARES here in this game number 2, and also game number 1. They just don't allow a lot of passes out of this Triple Trouble squad. Andom launches one downfield. Chirio is happy that one's not on target as that got blasted over his head. Pass across, and the only one there is going to be Tadpole. Back wall, weak clear. Does it get home? It's off the back wall. One missed touch. It will cost him. Andom goes behind the defender. It's 2-1 Triple Trouble.
Those ceiling bounces are so scary when you are on offense or on defense because you've got to be able to close it out without it waterfalling directly in front of your goal. That's a chance for a full crash, and of course, Andom sees it and says, that's going to be me. I'm going to make sure that that gets taken care of because when I play that through, the defense still doesn't know where to go, and I've got a lot of options at my disposal.
And again, we talked about Ronicky and Tadpole trying to get involved on the offense. Ronicky's got himself 2 assists, but it's been Andom putting the balls into the back of the net. And how about this one from the side wall? Sibadam able to make a clear. Is this one down to Tini, and he doesn't have the boost to finish the job. Unfortunate for ARES. It was a good idea. They knew they had the time to do it, but the execution just off.
And the demo will shut that down immediately. That's so important. If you can get a chance to close out any one player, the 2v3 won't make sense for them, and they can't put a single player up, which is what their playstyle has been. They're going to have to sit back and wait.
Free ball, back wall. Maybe a little bit too rushed. It turns out no. Andom has just enough time to shoot it through the open window.
Taking home the hat trick, looking good for this one too. Playing a ground ball like that, the defense has to come into the bottom 90. That is the farthest point possible for Chirio's rotation, and it makes a lot of great chances for them. And even if Chirio had been able to close that out, Andom was there to push it back into the box.
And I thought for sure Andom was just going to throw that one off the back wall, say, you finish the job for me, it'll be a little bit easier, but you know that buys time for the defense, and a tough save made by Tadpole.
Unpredictable.
Sibadam trying to buy a little bit of time, gets it through. Chirio can't get it over the top of that tall Batmobile. Demo in front of the blue net. And Chirio's on a long drive back, makes the half rotate in the midfield, says, hang on a minute, this is dangerous. Pass to the top and well defended by Chirio. So the final 30 seconds or so, it's going to be a tough order for ARES to fill here. That could have got it started. That was a brilliant pass over to Sibadam at the top of the box. They got a nice demo. This is a good chance, but they can't get it through. These 2 Triple Trouble players just battling for possession in this corner. And unfortunately, I think that's going to seal the deal here for game number 2. ARES just not quite as successful as shutting it down, and that one goes off the post as well. Chirio trying valiantly to get one more to go, and they still can't get it home. Andom's right in front of the net. It has just been a scrum in front of this Triple Trouble goal for the past 45 seconds or so, and they hang tough.
You know, Chirio being the top shots on goal for that game, it says a lot about how they had to play. It was very different from what we saw out of game 1. ARES just not quite putting it together, but Andom, I think Andom was putting it. He looks so good this matchup. On target, continually placed in a good position close to the outside of the goal, so he could close it in. And what we saw was he was able to actually successfully bait a lot of the defense. When he challenged a lot of those plays, it put the defense into tough spots. And that's your goal a lot of the time, because even if you don't make the shot, building that pressure and getting a second opportunity for your team gives them a chance to rotate back in and take another shot at that play.
And then, of course, Ronicky doing a good job getting him some chances right in front of the goal. Because Andom was positioned so aggressively, he says, look, I know you can win a lot of challenges. I'll throw it right in front of the net, and you go get him. Andom did just that. And we talked about whether or not that was going to be what Andom was going to have to do. That more of what we saw at a Week 1 Triple Trouble. Andom having to carry a lot of the offense of this team. Ronicky's still getting plenty of assists. It's not like he's doing it all himself, like he was doing in Week 1, it felt like. But Tadpole, he's kind of cruising here in game number 2. Look, man, Ronicky's making some good setup opportunities. I'll hang out here in the midfield, and I'll just be like, you want to cover the midfield, Andom? I'll go cover the net. And even then, there were plenty of shots from ARES, and I don't feel like a lot of them were super dangerous. There weren't a lot of saves over on that Triple Trouble side that game.
No, there really weren't. And I will say that Sebadem actually did a good job being the savior for ARES. Probably kept them in a better position than they would have been by the end of that
Still
match.
cutting down a lot of passes, for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
But either way, not enough to get the job done in game number 2 as we start game 3 here. And early pressure from Triple Trouble, and they will swipe away that corner boost. Tinny with a bit of a double commit from the ARES squad, and that's also another thing that I think has been hampering ARES in this series. They get tied up so close to each other, and Tadpole will indeed take advantage of it. A weak touch out of the midfield. Tadpole just takes it away. They're right next to each other, and Sebadem has no boost. He's taken himself out of position.
And Tinny really needed to make that hit, or at least challenge against Tadpole to block the trajectory, because when Tadpole rolls in, he's got a clear shot on goal. That was a double commit that they could not afford this early into the match.
Well, again, Triple Trouble secures possession out of the kickoff. It's a race the other way, a missed clear. And Ronicky says, look, I'm going to go for this. If they miss it, and I'll sink it in.
Half of those roll over the goal, and the defense doesn't have to worry about it so much. But again, they still have to make the clear. They can't let it roll like that, because when they do, Ronicky's coming in and he goes, well, if the chance works, I'm going to take that 90 and I'm going to make it count.
So execution plaguing ARES a little bit here in game 3. Like to see the offense get rolling for them a little bit. Looking for Tinny to step up. And that is unfortunate. Just a missed touch. Just rammed off the back wall. And Triple Trouble. We might see what we saw out of that Servette Juicy Kids game. And there's another one. Tadpole's got 3 goals for his team. This is not looking good in game 3.
It's Act 2, and Andom's taking a step back and saying, all right, Tadpole, Ronicky, let's see what you got. I don't think there's a question at this point that they're doing a great job playing those through, but also the defense on ARES, they've made a couple key mistakes, and you've actually seen those on screen. Taking a physical shot to your own teammate, challenging a little bit early, the wrong double commit plays. In the first minute, this was not the way to set it up for a 3-0, and they have to make that up now.
Back wall. Is anybody there to go and really contest this one for ARES? It's hard into the middle. Tinny, it's a great read. One off the bar and in. Way to get it done. Your team's back in it. That is a much-needed goal for ARES.
The comms probably along the lines of, hey guys, we need goals. And here's Tinny. Plays it up, but it was good because he came from the midfield. It doesn't give the defense enough time to read. They can see it coming off the backboard, and they don't have enough time to challenge. When he's got that angle, it puts him at a dangerous spot because he can drop it down, and that's a lot less readable from that side.
A surprising amount of power from that shot from Tinny as well. It's not like Triple Trouble didn't see that shot coming. They're like, yes, he's trying to read this ball off the ceiling. We should be able to step. Wow, he hit that really hard.
It was impressive.
Back wall, free ball for Tinny, and Sebadem trying to go get it. He got there, but he can't get it on frame. Quick drive up the field. They're right on top of each other. Makes it really tough to finish the job. They'll just cut away, and they don't even want the midfield boost. It's Triple Trouble in a bit of an awkward spot, but can ARES get a grip from it? That's a nice demo in the orange net. Does it go straight down for him? It will not. Tipped forward into the midfield. Here's Ronicky just to buy plenty of time. And that should be a full reset for both of these teams. Everyone will have plenty of time to go grab boost. We will enter the neutral game again. Someone's going to have to make a mistake, perhaps, or you're going to see some great passing plays.
We are seeing Triple Trouble take the long feeds from midfield. That works because then they can take a rotation back. They don't have to really commit a little bit too much. If they get a longer clear, set it up, they can put 1 player up instead of 2, and they've got a little bit more room to take those midfield boosts and push if they need to.
Pass across. Andom is just ready for a clear, perhaps, from ARES. He tried to get aggressive, and that one's out to Cheerio, hard off the back wall, and a solid read from Ronicky, already up there, just taking that option away. Cheerio one more time. This one into the corner, and again, Ronicky to stop that. Some casual back and forth between the two. finally, here's a chance for Triple Trouble. They're fighting for possession in this corner. And it's just, we've seen it. It's just one little missed touch from a team. This one out towards Daylight. Tadpole's just waiting back in his own half. He knows there's danger. Easy clear into the midfield towards the corner. Now it's Andam and Ronicky sizing things up out of the midfield. Great timing. You saw Tadpole force an option out of the attacking player there, and then Andam said already he forced him to do this. He knew the timing window that was going to open up, and he went for it immediately.
That's good communication. That's good chemistry with the team, too, because if you know that that's how going to play out, you can continually work that way. Tadpole, he's been great at reading his opponent. We've watched him do it several times in this series, and again, he continues to perform.
So the final 90 seconds. The early game might be just enough to pull Triple Trouble here through in Game 3. As ARES needs something. This one right at a defender in the midfield. Easily stopped by Triple Trouble. Already 15 seconds gone off the clock. Tough read for Tinney. He tried to get the flip off the ceiling. That was ambitious to say the least. And Ronicky can't get one. Gets under it, throws it off the back wall. And again, already only 60 seconds left. And still Triple Trouble sitting on this ARES half. They don't have anybody cheating upfield. The clear placement isn't where it needs to be for ARES. It's not out into space. They're trying to hit their teammates. The problem is Triple Trouble have the options covered.
So Triple Trouble, when they clear from the midfield, they've been playing it out to center, and that's such a big thing for them because if they can keep the defense back, not only are they in their box, they're forced to clear out, and they can't just play up the wing. It cuts time and allows his team to make the proper rotations and prepare for the next touches coming from the defense.
Tadpole. That was so gentle. Tried to just sneak that one into the right-hand side, but still, ARES can't get anything going. Here's a chance. They've got him in a one-on-two. It's unfortunately too far off the nose of Sebanam. He can't win the challenge on the sidewall. Straight out into the midfield for Andam. Pass will go into open space and just waste time. 10 seconds left. Game 3 going to find its way to its conclusion here, courtesy of Triple Trouble. And to be honest, I think the only reason they won this game is they got 3 goals in under a minute. And I think it was because their kickoff game was so strong. They were able to earn possession very quickly in this game, too. Cheerio, he got it under him. It was going to go in.
I believe you.
You needed another half second, though. Tough break.
You know, I will agree. I think that after they got those first 3, especially after the half, it was about burning time. And Triple Trouble, they put shots on goal, a lot of them at that. I mean, we're talking, what did they get, like 11 shots on goal? That was incredible. ARES is stuck in their half. They have to play time. They would work to where they could play away from the spacing that ARES had set up, so that when ARES had to go in and make a rotation, they had to not only play a player out there, burn boost, but also set up again, and then play players forward. That takes time. And when you're up by 2, you want to be able to take as much of that as possible. The midfield was a great control place for Triple Trouble because they didn't really have to commit too hard up on offense. They already had the points. At that point, time was on their side, and ARES was struggling to get out of their half.
Yeah, that's why we only saw 4 shots out of ARES this game. It's been a little bit closer in terms of the shot differential between the 2 teams in games 1 and 2, but here it's just because ARES struggled to clear the ball. Yeah. So the reason ARES struggled to clear the ball, you see Triple Trouble, the positioning was really great, the timing was really great. You saw plenty of times one guy would make a challenge out of the midfield for Triple Trouble, force the option. Sure, maybe they don't win, but there's a second guy right behind him ready to take that. You saw that plenty of times. Also, the passing out into space for ARES. They were reading those passes. It's like, look, you're trying to clear this ball out into space. The problem is you're not fully aware of where all of us are out of the midfield. So I think ARES, coming into this game number 3, you have to be able to pick your spots better as you're clearing the ball. Maybe even dribble. You have to earn some possession for your team. Dribbling is the best way. Look, yes, it's hard to dribble in 3v3, but your team needs some form of control of the ball.
They've also got to be able to win the kickoff game. I think that that's something that they can take advantage of. This was almost one for them. They were a little bit behind that, but the right idea to get those in early, because while we saw Triple Trouble was successful, ARES can make the same plays, and that's so good. Come on.
So good is right. A second one towards net. ARES almost able to get it started off so well. But the shot accuracy not there. This was punched downfield and a welcome breath of fresh air for Triple Trouble. Andam to clear. He's not going to get this one. That's a great pass towards the top of the box. Again, a pretty touch and such good aggression. The go-getter attitude. Another one. These are not bad passes from ARES. That is great defense from Triple Trouble to read where those are going, who it's intended for, and to cut it down.
I think the back passes look good too because it forces the defense to be baited out a bit and gives them more ground to strike.
Tadpole sizing up a challenge on the midfield. Tinny actually just gave up on the ball, said, you know what? I'm going to make you think I'm hitting this, and I'll just go get it back. Back wall, and cleared away by Cheerio. Bit of a cruise here for ARES. Cheerio has a chance, met right at the top of the box. Pass across and into the net. Tinny can't quite stop it all the way. Unfortunate, but a nice shot from ARES to get themselves on the board first.
Now, as Tadpole unfortunately can't get the clear out to the wing, that was the intent from that challenge, and it dropped right to Tinny. It looked so good, by the way.
It was so good as right. He was so close to making that save. You saw him trying to flip it up, get it off that top crossbar, maybe even around it. Unfortunately, just bounced right back into his face and into the net. Game 4 will continue here. ARES finally able to get on the board first. Did ARES score first in game number 1? I don't remember.
I do believe that Tinny had a very early attempt.
Because I don't think ARES has scored first all series long.
I'm trying to think if they did. It's been tough because they haven't had that many goals.
Yeah.
Even the games that they won, they really didn't put up a lot.
Only had 5 so far in the series. But Triple Trouble is being put under a fair amount of duress here in game number 4. ARES able to get a little bit more of a grip on the match. Plenty of pressure being applied out of the midfield. This is a great pass out to Tinny. Back wall, they're really positioned awkwardly. Not a lot of power on these clears, and this is a welcome touch from Tadpole. Sebadam will delay, but what? Triple Trouble just gave that ball up. Thankfully, they got it to push them onto the orange side, and they have a shot at the net here, but you cannot afford to just give up a free ball like that.
No, they're a little bit out of their element right now. When we saw them on defense, they're double committing. They're getting a little bit too close to each other. The spacing doesn't look right. And now when they transition to offense, it's been a little bit slower, and they're not taking advantage of the spots that we saw them do so well in the games that they're dominating in.
Awkward touch from ARES here. Tadpole to Andom in a race, and he's just not able to win it. We're seeing Andom be so good out of the midfield early on in the series. They kind of caught on to the pacing out of the midfield from this Triple Trouble squad. They're getting to it just a little bit quicker. It's made it that much tougher for them to earn possession on the orange side of things. Kind of tie each other up again. Bit of awkward communication from Triple Trouble. This has not been the cleanest game that we've seen out of them before, for sure. And I like this touch from Tinny, keeping it close, saying, if you want to take this ball, you're going to take it from me. Triple Trouble does get it out, pass back, and that was a nice touch from Andom. Didn't try to do too much, didn't try and rush a shot, just gave it right back to his teammate, and they tie it up.
Tadpole's the real winner of this one because he comes through. When he takes the demo, it sets up a weird spot for a 1v3 because all 3 players crashed into the box at that point. They knew their time was now. If we're going to make this one count, it's right on the line. Let's finish it.
And again, that capitalization, that one small window of opportunity, you have to be able to grab onto it and take advantage. And both Juicy Kids and Triple Trouble today have done a very nice job of that. ARES has not given them a lot to work with here in this game 4, which is why when you get a chance like that, you know you have to get it home. Sebadam into the middle, took it away from his teammate, just trying to continue the attack as Tadpole just slices one out to the left-hand side. That's a nice demo from Tinny in the backfield. It means everything's wide open, and it's a bit of a rush. Still skims out in front of the box. It's a race down to the other end of the pitch as ARES almost caught, thinking maybe they had a free one, and fortunate the breakaway wasn't on target.
They were a little bit tense in terms of making sure that they didn't want to overcommit. That was probably the right choice in that regard, but man, they've had some opportunities where they could have struck. Oh, the double commit. Is there one more in there? Tadpole can't get it back through, but Andom's going to push it back up and over. It's close. That's 2. They're going to keep this pressure up as long as they can.
And you're really starting to see Triple Trouble. They haven't got a lot of chances here, but they have been dangerous here in the final 20 seconds or so. The final 10 begin to tick down, and ARES a little bit flustered. They haven't been able to push outside of their own box, it feels like, as this one's into the net. 30... out to the top. Ronicky can't get it there. It's right into the corner. They will definitely kill that ball. They were not happy with that pressure from Triple Trouble, and ARES is welcome to have a reset here.
ARES needs this overtime now. because this is absolutely critical for them. Again, they need.
Oh no!
They got to pull it together.
Oh no! It's
That's
a breakaway.
so dangerous. Oh no!
Oh, they hit each other in the
demo.
midfield. Then the demo to top it all off. Ronicky. Oh, this is so tough for Triple Trouble. One bad bout of communication.
That was something that ARES needed. They had to have this, and the second Triple Trouble sees it. They can close in. Tadpole, by the way, again, Tadpole's physical game was the reason that they won this match.